Greetings, Vault citizens. Johnny5 Alive here, and welcome back to another Fallout 76 news update video. We got lots to go over today. There's more talks on the survival mode coming up. A new PVE update called Wild Appalachia will be the next big content drop. We're going to be covering more of that. New camp stuff, more crafting stuff, and a bigger stash box, and much, much more. So stay tuned, and let's get into it. Alright everybody, let's dive right into the news here. Fallout 76 Inside the Vault for February 14th, 2019. Welcome back to Inside the Vault and happy Valentine's Day. This week, we've got the details on a few more changes that are currently planned for release with Patch 6 next week, announcing upcoming Fallout 76 streams with the community team and sharing more information about new game content we're introducing over the next few months. What's next? We see questions and comments on almost a daily basis regarding to what's to come in Fallout 76 and what we're actively working on. Our team is fully dedicated to delivering you great in-game experiences, and that includes first and foremost continuing to make fixes and address issues, but we're also working on a lot of new content and features. We've mentioned our upcoming survival mode is currently planned for the release of March for fans of PvP, but we're also introducing the new PVE content for those of you who seek adventure through quests, events, and features. We're planning to do this through a series of weekly updates we're calling Wild Appalachia, which will be the first big content drop of the year and spans the next few months. In addition to quests, events, and challenges, it'll also bring in new content to camps, crafting, and much more. Our 2019 roadmap, which currently looking to roll out later this month, will give you a broader look at what's coming to Fallout 76 with Wild Appalachia. Additionally, ahead of each Wild Appalachia update, we will share more in-depth preview of the new content and features being introduced to the game each following week. All right, let's pause this for a sec and just talk about what's happening here and address it. They're talking about the survival mode. Okay, you guys, you saw my video on that, and a lot of you guys don't seem to be on board with it. I'm not on board with it. I'm on board with it if they do it right, but they're approaching it wrong. So I just feel like it's going to be a disaster, just like everything else so far. I hate to be a goddamn Debbie Downer, but it's happening. I don't know how else to put it. The PVE content, the Wild Appalachia, is going to be quests, events, and other features. They said challenges, so I'm assuming more of the fetch quests we're used to and more of the random events on the map that we're used to, but with monsters, right? Wild Appalachia. So I'm assuming some kind of monster hunter, go to a bounty board, collect some bounties, go kill some, you know, Mothmen or something like that, and that sort of thing. It actually could be kind of fun. I could see that to be an okay bit of content. My concern here is they're saying it's going to span over a few months. Okay, we're in February now. The game was launched in November, December, January, February, 4 months. And like 4 months ago, they promised new content post-launch, and we still don't have it. There's no new content yet. And they're saying, what happened to the vaults, guys? Remember, like 2 months ago, they said the next content drop is going to be vaults. No talk of that here. They axed it. They must have axed it. It's just not being mentioned. Did I miss something? Did I miss something? Are there vaults in the game right now, and I'm just completely missing it and out of touch with the game? Are you guys enjoying vaults right now? I don't know, because if this Wild Appalachia is happening over the next few months, then they're pushing the vaults back. But if they're pushing the vaults back, that's possibly a good thing, because of the discussion videos we had where we thought if these vaults opened up and NPCs went out into the world, that'd be the most incredible thing ever. It would save Fallout. Maybe they're actually thinking about that and pushing it back, but they should have said something. And then they're also mentioning here their roadmap is coming out later this month, and it's going to give us a broader look at what to expect with Fallout 76 Wild Appalachia update. So this is good news. But again, my concern is if this Wild Appalachia rolls out after March, after survival mode, and then it spans over the next few months after that, we're looking at April, May, June, July. It could be anywhere, basically summer is when this Wild Appalachia ends, and we have all the content there. Do we want to tune in week to week for little tiny Wild Appalachia updates, or would you rather come in at the end of summer and experience the whole Wild Appalachia update? And is that even going to be good, concerning how fast we burned through the main game, which took a lot longer than a few months to develop? It's interesting. So for me, I don't know if I want to jump into the Wild Appalachia until it's finished, but I definitely will cover it here and give a sneak peek of it. So I got to do it for my job, for keep you guys informed. So we'll be checking it out, but as a gamer myself, I think it might be better to wait a little bit. All right, moving on, guys. Patch 6 is anticipated to release next week and planned for simultaneous launch on Xbox One, PC, and PlayStation 4. This will be the last update ahead of the Wild Appalachia, which will be supported by Patch 7. Sticking to 6, we are still compiling a full patch notes to provide you once that update is available, but in our tradition, we wanted to share with you some of the larger fixes we're working on. So this is a little bit of sneak peek of the patches to come, or the patch notes in the next patch. Stash limit increased to 800. We know this continues to be a big one. Next week, we are raising the stash limit from 600 to 800 pounds. Like last time, we were consistently evaluating storage space and discussing ways we can make improvements, but not at the expense of server stability. We hope this additional 800 pounds will help you store even more of awesome items you found in the wasteland. See, this is great, but I still feel like their last big content drop was the stash limit increase from 400 to 600. We haven't seen anything in the game that's excited us since the last stash increase. So at least we got another stash increase. What I really want to see is a build limit increase at this point. I'd like to put more stuff in my base, especially if they're including new crafting stuff for your base in the Wild Appalachia. They have to introduce a larger crafting space. Otherwise, what's the point? Next up, the N79 grenade launcher and auto grenade launcher are now classified as heavy weapons. A fix is being made to properly label the M79 grenade launcher and auto grenade launcher as heavy weapons. It will also now correctly benefit from all heavy weapon perks, except for the heavy gunner, as we believe that makes sense for these weapons to benefit from demolition expert. Boom. Accidentally damaging another player's camp will no longer tag you as wanted. All right, that's pretty self-explanatory. I don't need to read that. Player icons now display in more areas through the game. On patch 6 arrives, hovering over a player on the map will now display their player icon, and their workshop will display their owner's player icon too. Additionally, when viewing a turret created by another player, you'll now be able to see an owner's name and a player's icon in the turret's nameplate. Okay, this actually brought something up. Like, why are they doing this? Implementing player icon improvements for the map. Well, I completely forgot. They promised us player vending like 2 months ago. Wasn't that like a big video I did? Like, player vending's coming. They're like, we're planning on our next content update to have player vending. Well, I'm assuming this kind of is the infrastructure, the setup to do that. I would hope player vending is included in this Wild Appalachia update, because that's another thing that they're just like, let's just forget we said that. Moving on. Quest containers during the Feed the People and Path Enlightenment events now only accept quest items. With this fix, players can no longer accidentally transfer items in their inventories into the quest containers. As a result, you should now be able to complete events without fear of losing non-quest items. I actually thought this was addressed because this happened to me on beta, and I was like, oh my god, I just lost all my gear. Because I was just going add, and all of a sudden, like, my gear showed up, and it was like, put it a bunch in. And I was like, what the heck? But I haven't had that happen since, so I thought it was fixed. Apparently not. I can't believe it took them that long to fix this. It's almost embarrassing, and the fact that they're like highlighting this is like, look forward to this, guys. Look forward to not being frustrated and losing your gear, is like their way of exciting you to get back into the game. It's almost embarrassing. I hate to say it, but it is. All right, moving on, guys. Starting soon, our community team is going to start live streaming Fallout 76 on Twitch and Mixer. We'd like to start working to answer more of your questions in real time while also having a fun hangout with you. We'll be curating these streams based on what you'd like to know, and we'll be using them as opportunities to chat more directly with you while we share our excitement for new content, quest events, and throughout this year and beyond. We're currently aiming our first stream to take place on Friday, February 22nd from 2 to 3 p.m. A 1 hour stream on the day that Anthem launches? Are you guys insane? We're planning to do a stream that will most likely get the least amount of viewers, and we'll do it only for a 1 hour window. It's like so embarrassing. It's like the best way to circumvent the most amount of questions possible, but also acting as if you're open to questions. Does that make any sense at all? Or am I just crazy? It's like, we give you a 1 hour window to jump in on the biggest game launch day of the year. And ET, what is ET? Let me see what this would be for me. Okay, 11 a.m. But that's everyone's at work at 11 a.m. So interesting, very interesting, kind of hilarious. They chose February 22nd. You know everyone's going to be playing Anthem, but I guess not everyone. But the thing is, you know, people who are burnt by Fallout 76 who have moved on, they're looking for another 4-player co-op game like Fallout. Anthem's like right up there, so that's why I was making that reference. If it was any other game, I probably wouldn't bring that up here, but yeah, still funny that it's only a 1 hour stream window, you know, but what do you do? All right, so anything else? Anything else? Weekly spotlight. It takes 2 or 3 or 4. Today is Valentine's Day, and our latest in-game spotlight is all about building great relationships through great teamwork. Now through February 18th, you gain 15 plus maximum health for each player on your team, so be sure to show your closest comrades in the wasteland how much you care by teaming up to snag some bonus health. So a full party, you'll have a bonus 45 health to play the game with. You know what I would like to see Fallout 76 do? They could get a lot of brownie points for very little effort. I want to use Fortnite Save the World as an example. I know a lot of Fortnite gets a lot of hate, but the Save the World aspect of Fortnite is actually top quality, and every month or two they do like a whole new thing. Like right now they got the spring event going on with, or they had the lunar event going into the spring event with bunnies and Easter, and then they have the Valentine's event. It's all like, they just throw it all out there, like so many events happening, and they just come off a Christmas event, and they don't, like, they go above and beyond, like new characters, new guns, new everything. And Fallout could do the same thing, but rather than throwing stuff in the shop for people to buy, like, give us some stuff. Like, if you log in for between, you know, February 10th and 18th, we're gonna give away some special Valentine's red dresses and suits, tuxedos, and an assortment of flowers that could be attached to your holster or whatever, or like new helmet, you know, just something to get people to log in and be like, I'm just gonna hop in and like claim my free stuff, and then once they're in the game, they're like, yeah, it's been a while since I played, so maybe I'll play for an hour or two, or some sort of challenge at least, like go around the wasteland, and like maybe they give you a special emote that says like, be my Valentine's, and then someone has to do a heart emoji in return to accept that, and then that way that like you could go around asking people to be your Valentine's, and if you do it for, you know, 10 people, you get an reward. If you do it for 100 people, you get like this like crazy power armor paint. It's such simple stuff. Like the design team only has to make a couple textures, a couple models, and then they attach it to a challenge, and that to me is like better content that's already in the game, and it's so easy to make. I'm super frustrated with the delays and the broken promises so far, guys. So if there's any negativity coming from me, or me saying that I'm embarrassed, it's been a wait, and I'm feeling it, you're feeling it. I was on the Fallout bandwagon, okay? I was cheering for this game when everyone was slandering it. I made a 50-something actual funny moments videos and guide videos. I played the crap out of this game, and I am a diehard Fallout fan, and it's been 4 months, and I'm getting burnt out, and I'm getting tired of them. It's almost like these little newsletters are annoying me, because the last newsletter 2 months ago that got me hyped up for vaults and player vending and all that stuff has been forgotten about, and then they introduce a PvP system, and now, you know, it's just like, well, one thing at a time, guys, one thing at a time. Like, there are so many different promises that are awesome, but not one yet delivered. So I mean, at least we're getting 800 stash. That's what we have to look forward to. Anyways, do you guys agree? Am I fed up? Am I being a little Debbie Downer? Maybe I'm a little bit, my expectations have gone up after seeing what BioWare is doing with Anthem. BioWare has fixed over 1,000 bugs in the last 2 weeks, and made major improvements to their game, and included new content for launch, and they did this in 2 weeks. Why can't Bethesda do anything of that caliber in 4 months? And I think that's why I'm just like, I'm a little bit tired of being patient, but I'm gonna stay tuned. I'm gonna watch, and I really hope that this Wild Appalachia content is worth the wait. So stay tuned for that, guys. Let me know what you guys think, how you feel about all this stuff. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you know, let me know your thoughts. I like reading your comments, so drop them down below. And that's gonna do it for me here today in this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye now.